What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jay from Yankee and the Brit back at you. I wanted to talk a little bit about what's going on with the Minnesota Vikings GM and head coaching search, some of the names that are out there. But let's start right away with a name that really took some people by shock. It didn't shock me, but I don't know how else to put it. But some people had some real feelings about this first name I want to bring up, and it's Kathleen Rach. Now, Kathleen has been in the front office of CFL teams, the Argonauts, the Alouettes, was in the front office for the XFL Tampa Bay team. Also, right now, she is the president of football operations for the Eagles. But she started out in the coaching circuit for the CFL. And I know a lot of people will go, oh, it's the CFL, it's not the same. But it is in the sense that they scout the same teams. They scout the same bowl games. They scout the same players. And they scout and they meet these NFL scouts and they generate relationships and networking. And that's how they get from the CFL to the NFL. It's happened a lot of times where CFL coaches or scouts become NFL scouts and then into the front office. So she drew a lot of heat, though. And I don't understand where people were so upset about this. And I also keep seeing that your major networks keep saying she would be the first female NFL GM, and that's not true. The first one was with the Philadelphia Eagles back in 1982. So I don't understand where these talking heads at the major networks don't get their facts straight, but that's something that's been a little pet peeve of mine. I don't know a lot about her, but if she's the right person for the job, I'm all for the Vikings hiring her. I know she's a lot to the analytics side of football. So if the Wilfs are looking to go more towards analytics, then she might be the right choice. I know she holds the same position right now as Andrew Berry did. So if that's a comparison you want to go to, he's doing a pretty good job in the NFL right now. Another name I want to throw out there that I haven't been hearing a lot of, but I've heard some whispers or read a couple articles, and that I think would be a great idea. It's Louis Riddick. Louis Riddick, I think, would be great. And I know people are going to go, wasn't he part of the Eagles' dream team that failed? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely he is. And we'll get into this with head coaches. But your second time around doing things in the NFL, you'd learn from your first time and do a lot better. Pete Carroll, Bill Belichick, Bruce Arians. I mean, let's just keep going. Like, you're better the second time around because you learn from the mistakes of the first time. Another one I keep hearing a lot is Elliott Wolf. You might remember the name because he's son of Ron Wolf. He had running with the Packers. Now he's with the Patriots. With the Vikings being interested in Josh McDaniels, maybe that's a package deal, Patriot way type thing. You bring in Wolf and you bring in Josh McDaniels. But we don't want to get ahead of ourselves because it really does look like the Vikings will hire a GM first. But the way it did sound to me when Mark Wilf did his press conferences, the GM will have a huge say in who the coach is. But I feel like ownership's going to have a say in this one too. Doesn't always turn out the greatest, but we'll see where they go from there. Let's talk about the coaches, though. There's some names that have been being thrown out there. We just said Josh McDaniels. That's another guy. I know everybody didn't love how it ended for him in Denver, but second time around, good offensive mind. He's under Belichick, so that's some hesitation for some people. I don't know. I know that he backed out of the Colts job. Nobody really knows why, so he would have had that second chance. There is reports he's also interested in the job, but let's be real. If you're an offensive coach, who doesn't want this Vikings job with the offense they have? I mean, it even came out that this is the one job that Kellen Moore wants the most, and he's another one throwing his name out there that's going to be in the cycle for all of these head coaches. Kellen Moore, young 33-year-old, I believe, offensive coordinator for the Cowboys. Jerry Jones loves this guy, but he's going to get a head coaching job. So is that the way Minnesota wants to go? I know that Jim Harbaugh's been a name that's out there, but he's a dude that'll wear on you 4, 5, 6 years with an organization. Seems to be a rough dude to get along with after a while. So is that something you want to do? See if he can do a quick turnaround like he did with the 49ers, get you to a Super Bowl, and then you never know what happens. Nathaniel Hackett is the name I've been hearing the most, the Packers OC, and I know Aaron Rodgers praises him every chance he gets. This is a guy that I think would be a really good hire if the Vikings want to go for an offensive-minded head coach. I know there's a lot of people that are all screaming for offensive-minded head coaches. As a Vikings fan, I wouldn't want to see them get pigeonholed into we have to have an offensive-minded coach because let's be honest, the defense was the problem, and that is a really good offense. But then there is an argument to be made if you bring then your offensive coordinator, if he's any good, leaves every other year, and you're always having turnover at the offensive coordinator. So you got your offense having to learn a new system. I get that. But if you want to go defense, Brian Flores is out there. I think he'd be another guy, would learn from his mistakes, even though I do not think he should have been fired in Miami. But I guess what happened is he did not want Tua. He wanted Justin Herbert. The front office took Tua. Then he wanted Deshaun Watson. The front office didn't really want Deshaun Watson. Flores and Tua had it out in the locker room, I guess, and then him in the front office. And so a guy that did a pretty good job with a franchise that's pretty inept out on the market. And then the one I think is the worst possible candidate that I keep hearing for the Vikings job, and I know he was the running backs coach there, but is Eric Bieniemy. And let's be real, guys, this is Matt Nagy 2.0. The only reason he's getting interviews is because he sits next to Andy Reid, a Hall of Fame coach. He doesn't call plays. He has that past history with what happened in Colorado when he was coaching. I don't know if he's the best choice. As a Vikings fan, that is not the guy I want to see coming in to run my organization if I'm the Wolves, but we'll see what happens. I think there's a lot of good candidates out there. I think that we have to wait and see who the GM is first, because then you'll have a better idea what kind of head coach they might go for. But I know a lot of people think Josh McDaniels is a bad idea. I don't know how I feel. I don't think he'd be the worst. Nathaniel Hackett, I think, is a great idea. I think, personally, if it was up to me, it would be Louis Riddick, GM, Brian Flores, head coach. And I know a lot of Vikings fans ain't trying to hear that because they want an offensive-minded head coach. So then we go back to Kellen Moore, Nathaniel Hackett, Brian Leftwich is another guy that Patrick Peterson has stepped out and really praised. He also was talking about how if they wanted to go the defensive route, he's a big fan of Todd Bowles. I'm a big fan of Todd Bowles. I know when they hired Mike Zimmer, it really came down to Todd Bowles or Mike Zimmer, and I think Todd Bowles would be great too. But again, I'm one of the few people that don't want to pigeonhole this to offense or defense. I just want the Vikings to get the right GM and then get the right coach for the system they want to run to fit the players that they have. They have a lot of decisions they need to make on, like Daniil Hunter. We're pretty sure Barr's gone. Does the new coach and regime want to ride Cousins for one more year? Do they want to trade him? Do they want to extend him? That's going to have a lot to do with it. So I'm kind of curious to see where this goes, but the Vikings are moving with the interview process. They have a lot of, I think I read 8. I think Tom Pelissero sent out that they have 8 GM interviews this week, and they're already scheduling coaching interviews, which makes me feel like within the next week, they're going to have a GM to sit in on these head coaching meetings. But we'll wait and see. Let me know what you guys think, though. That's why I throw this all out in groups, NFL groups and stuff, because I'm not being argumentative when I ask these questions. I really want the feedback, and then it gives us a better idea what you guys think, and it helps us bring better content when we're deciding what to talk about. But let me know what you think about the Minnesota Vikings general manager and head coach search, who you'd like to see them hire, why you think they should go there, and tell me you think I'm a fucking idiot if you tell me you think I'm a fucking idiot if you want. And there I stumble over my words while going live, so no editing that. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. One world, one love. Deuces.